Hey, what's going on? It's a Monday here in, all over the world again. Maybe not all over the world, but it's Monday here in Dallas. And it's hot as hell. It's like 101 degrees. Heat index is like 430, so we're baking like potatoes outside. So if you're in Dallas, stay hydrated and check on your peoples. That's what I'm saying. Tony Scott here for Smooth R&B 105.7. Look at some Tony's Tea from the studio. I do the weekday show from 2 to 7 in the afternoon. So there's that. So, Lee Daniels is not really, I think he likes Monique, but I think he's not here for being trashed by Monique. Because you can't trash Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, and Oprah Winfrey and then expect to, get work. It's not going to happen. And I think Lee's kind of at a point where, like, you know what? And I think he did say this in this interview that he did, that he does like Monique. He thinks she's an incredible talent, but she needs to shut up. It's kind of like where he's at with that and what he is saying. So if you missed it, this is what he said.
Get that performance from her. She had to bare her soul to me. I had to bare my soul to her.
Yeah.
That was like making love without having sex.
I understand.
You understand? There's levels to that.
Exactly.
And for her to think that that I could do anything, but I don't know. I don't even, it ain't even worth the conversation. She needs to shut up.
Well, there you go. That's what he said. So, and I think he's torn. I think he does like her, but he's tired of being trashed. I think he's like anybody would be tired of being trashed. Nobody wants to get trashed constantly. And he said in the interview that no one blackballed Monique. She blackballed herself. And I kind of think there's a lot of truth to that, but you can check it out for yourself and interpret it any way you want. But I do think that he's just frustrated because it's like, what do you want? You run across people like that. You're trying to help them, and if they're not going to acknowledge it, then you can't help them. You know what I'm saying? So Wendy Williams reportedly is backtracking on her R. Kelly support. She met R. Kelly when she was off sick with dealing with Graves' disease. She told a story about meeting with R. Kelly, and she said she was, the interview moved her. Talking to him it wasn't an interview, it was a conversation, and it moved her. And she has been saying things kind of like on the low about R. Kelly, and kind of like she said before that R. Kelly isn't that Me Too thing. He's not that. She says Aaliyah voluntarily married him when she was 15 years old. Her parents voluntarily let her do it. Okay, when you're 15, you don't have the right to voluntarily marry anybody. That's why they have laws, okay? Now, your point about her parents, well, yeah, that is true. They had to sign off on it. And executives reportedly told her that she needed to pull back because sponsors were going to pull their advertising. And they told her it's time to take a different approach to R. Kelly before your talk show is gone and you're having to go on the road and open up for R. Kelly. Whoa. Whoa. It's interesting, though, because with most any other situation, we would be saying, why are we not waiting for this man to be convicted of something? Why are we condemning him? He hasn't been convicted of anything. But because it's R. Kelly and it involves reportedly so many different young females, then we're not here for it. But if it's any other situation with any other celebrity, we're like, wait a minute. wait, he's not been convicted of anything. But for R. Kelly, we're not here for it, probably because it involves our young girls. And as a father with 3 girls, yeah, I get that. I'm bothered by it a little bit because he is entitled to due process, but he hasn't been charged with anything. And I don't know where that goes. But the court of public opinion convicted him a long time ago, so there's that. Beyonce had to be rescued from a malfunctioning stage. I don't know if you heard about this. It happened last night in Warsaw, Poland, part of the On the Run 2 tour that's going on. And apparently the floating stage got jammed in the up position at the end of the show, and she couldn't exit the stage because the stage wasn't where it needed to be where she could walk off. So the stage crew had to put up a ladder, and in these thigh-high boots, she had to climb down, 10, 15 feet. And she did it because she's a professional, and I guess all is good. But I don't know if they'll fix that one or bring in another stage. Probably another stage because they got it like that, right? Prince Michael Jackson, Michael's son, is not here for haters of his grandfather. Joe Jackson, the patriarch of the Jackson family, as you know, died of pancreatic cancer last week. He was 89 years old. And there have been a lot of people who have been criticizing Joe, since he passed, saying he was an animal, he was a predator, he was this and that and the other. But his kids, and I talked about this last week. I find it interesting because, well, first of all, Prince Michael went off on it. I mean, he's using language that, his dad would not approve of. Okay. But, it's interesting because LaToya paid tribute to her late father, saying, "I will always love you. You gave us strength. You made us one of the most famous families in the world. I'm extremely appreciative of that. I will never forget our moments together and how you told me how much you cared. R.I.P. Joe Jackson." But wasn't she the one who said that he molested her, back in the day? And so that whole thing always makes me wonder now, because of all the love they have and reverence they have for their father who has passed away, and that's fine, but it makes me question if all these accusations are true or not about Joe Jackson, because they seem, for the most part, to have huge love and respect for him, and they have for quite a few years. I don't know. I mean, it really, at the end of the day, it's really none of our business whether we know what the truth is or not. That's not our concern. But it just makes you wonder, like, well, if he molested you, how do you still have love for him? And of course, Bette Midler, over the weekend, it came out that she went on social media and she was glad he died. She says he ate his children. She said that he was, she just went in. It was pretty brutal. You can go to krb.com and in the search bar put Bette Midler and you can read her comments there. So there's that. Of course, the big news over the weekend was LeBron James yesterday. The announcement that came that he signed a 4-year, $153.3 million contract with the Los Angeles Lakers. The second time he's left Cleveland. Remember back in 2010, he took his talents to South Beach. Remember that show? This time they just put out a press release saying, yeah, he's signing with the Lakers. And, yeah. I think they kind of learned their lesson. Don't make it a big deal, I don't know if folks in Cleveland are as hot as they were when he left the first time. Because the first time they were hotter than fish. They would set his jerseys on fire. His jerseys have been marked down from $200 to like $120. But, they're happy in L.A. They're kind of sad. He did, but, some people they interviewed, pardon me, in Cleveland were saying, you know what? He did what he said he was going to do. He came back to Cleveland and he brought a world championship. And then some people say, well, how much money is enough money? Well, let me see you turn down $38 million a year for 4 years. let me see you do that, and then we'll have the conversation, right? Oh, well, good luck, LeBron. I'm just saying, he's got 2 houses, his production company's out there. He's dabbling and putting together TV projects, things like that. So he's where he needs to be for after his career. I imagine this probably will be his last big payday, because when this contract is up, he'll be, 37, 38 years old? And he's not going to get that kind of money. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Not the beating that his body takes playing basketball. He's in excellent shape. Don't get me wrong. But basketball, the bigger you are, the more brutal it is, right? That's just the truth of the matter. So there's that. I found this pretty interesting only because it's the royal family. But apparently the Queen, she doesn't like those wedge heels that some of you ladies have. She's not here for that. And so supposedly, Princess is Meghan and the other one, Prince William's wife. She doesn't like them wearing them. They wear them when they're doing something in public that's not an official royal gig. But they're not. She's not here for that. I wonder why she doesn't like wedges. I just find it fascinating. I don't know what that is. So there's that. Michael Cohen, the president's personal lawyer, although I don't know if he's still his personal lawyer or not, did an interview with George Stephanopoulos on ABC, and he's sending signals, y'all. Clearly he's sending signals. He's saying that before he would take a bullet for the president. Now he says, my wife, my daughter, and my son are my first loyalty and always will. Family and country first is what he's saying. And he wants the special prosecutor to know. And he says the FBI was not rude when they came and raided my office and my home. They were very nice and very polite. And we shook hands after they left. He's letting everybody know that this wasn't as bad. The president keeps saying it's a witch hunt. And now Michael Cohen is saying, I really don't like the term witch hunt. I'm not here for that. So all these messages that are coming out is like, whoa, what is this, man? You were ride or die with the president. And now, not so much. What is that about? But I guess we'll all have to wait and see. Right? That's what it comes down to. Now, with the president and the Supreme Court justice that he has to pick because Anthony Kennedy decided to retire, there's been a few stories that have come out that have really not gone mainstream to my knowledge. Now, if you know it's gone mainstream, let me know. But supposedly, the Anthony Kennedy, the Supreme Court justice, his son Justin, is a banker who worked at the, is it Deutsche Bank, for over 10 years. Deutsche Bank was like the only important financial institution that would work with President Trump before he was president, after his bankruptcies. They loaned him like $1 billion. No one else would even talk to him about loaning money, but this bank did. And now all of a sudden, he's supposedly one of the president's most trusted associates. And people are wondering, so wait a minute. So your son was running a bank that was the only bank that would loan him money, and now you're resigning all of a sudden out of the blue so that he can put someone else, another conservative, on the bench. And people are saying, well, wait a minute, right? And I can see people's concern, but I don't know if I'm all in on the story, because I've only read it on a couple of blogs, and a couple of others were like copy and pasted from other blogs. So I don't know if this story truly has like legs or not. So we'll have to wait and see. But there's that. And then I read where the government is these are reuniting the families. They're making the families pay airfare to reunite their families, even though you took them and put one in, somebody in Boston and somebody in, wherever, thousands of miles away, hundreds of miles away, and now to get together they got to pay their own way. Come on, man. Someone else pointed out, very interesting, there's like 66,000 illegal immigrants in this country that are mostly from Europe. And you don't see their children being pried from their arms. Probably because their children don't look like, my children or your children. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. So let's see what you guys are talking about today. You can comment on anything you want that I covered or didn't cover. It's all up to you. Let's see. Donna says there's smoke, there's fire, and you think R. Kelly is smoldering. Are you talking about R. Kelly? Yeah, you know what? That's true. But nothing has ever happened. The one thing that happened that when he was brought up on charge, put on trial and stuff, R. Kelly was acquitted. Now, if you want to charge him again, if you got other women stepping forward, then okay. But, I get that. But at the same time, we're talking about, young. Are we still talking about young girls or young women? And you know what I'm talking about. Are they minors or are they non-minors? If they're of age, then I don't know what to tell you, But if they're not of age, well, yeah, then we have to go and get them. But, nothing's ever been proven. And like I told you before, the video from years ago, supposedly with him urinating on a teenage girl and all that kind of stuff like that, that must have not been a teenage girl, because if that were true, that right there would have gotten him 30 years. That alone. But that never even came up during the trial. So why wouldn't they use that if they had it, if it were true? So that leads me to believe, well, maybe the girl was not a minor. I'm guessing. I'm just saying. It's just one of those things. So we'll see. Wendy needs to tell the whole truth that R. Kelly is a sick man. I've heard conversations from a legendary singer who spoke about R. Kelly, and that's really all I can tell you. But he said the same thing, but I can't tell you who it was. So there's that. So Cheryl is in town from Funky Town. I heard that one of the hospitals over there in Fort Worth had like 44 births in 41 hours or something like that. They were like kicking them out like Pez dispensers, man. Remember Pez dispensers? They were like, man, what is that about over there? That's crazy. And Patricia, you're right. Latoya also said that Michael was guilty of touching little boys. So, I mean, what are we missing? We're missing something, because the way that they say that Joseph treated them, the way that they say that he molested a daughter, things like that. But then how is it? I don't understand how, if that happened, how you can have all this love for him still. I mean, I understand the power of forgiveness, but I mean, come on. I mean, all of them are like saying, hey, even Janet paid tribute to her father, and she's had a strained relationship with him for years, but she showed love to him. I don't know. Like I told you before, my father's father was a horrible man, and my father respected the fact that that was his father, but he didn't want to have anything to do with him. He didn't want to see him. He didn't want to talk to him. He didn't want to have anything to do with him. But yeah, he didn't send him cards on Father's Day. But if someone says, "Isn't that dude your father?" My father would go, "Yeah, that's my father." And that would be the end of the conversation. He wouldn't say nothing else. He wouldn't say anything else. And I didn't find out really how horrible a man my dad's father was until after my father died. So, Papa Joe only had $500,000 net worth. Nah, I don't think that's true. I don't think he had Janet Jackson money, but I think he had more than 500,000. But then again, how would we know? We can only guess. I'm guessing probably not. But still, it's like the story I did last week about, Paris and Janet were beefing about who was going to pay for the funeral. You mean to tell me he didn't have insurance to pay for he had insurance. Come on. He's old school. If he was nothing else, he was old school and he had insurance. I'm just saying, Pancho, what's going on, man? Southwest Atlanta in the house. Yes. Yeah. Michael Cohen is ready for his coming out party. He's ready to take the stage and sing like a cheap canary. He is, and it is better than reality. Well, you know what? Anything's better than reality TV because I don't watch any. I don't watch one. I've never watched one reality show. Nothing. Survivor, Real Housewives, the Shaws of something. I don't know. I've never watched any of them because they just don't do anything for me. It's not targeted to me. So there's that too. So there's we all know that R. Kelly is sick. You know what? If you're being honest about it, Anita, we don't know. We only know what we've read. We only know what people say that he's done. Because nothing has ever been, think about it for a second. Nothing has ever been proven. Now, I tend to side with you that there's something wrong with him, but if you really think about it, okay, where's the proof? The videotape? Is the videotape proof? Because the videotape, it didn't put him in jail. It could have put him away for life. If all those girls would have been underage. If one of them would have been underage, like I said, it'd have been 20, 30 years. But none of that ever happened. And the tape was never introduced in court, was it? So I don't know. Like I said, I tend to side with you because, better safe than sorry when it involves our girls, right? But we only know what we read. The same thing with the Jacksons. We only know what we read about what they said about Joseph Jackson. And it makes you wonder that when Joseph and Catherine split up and it was time to choose sides, well, they chose their mother, so they trashed their father. If that's what it was, is that fair? Look at all the stuff we read about Bobby Brown and Whitney. Bobby got Whitney on drugs and all that. When actually the complete opposite is what it was. It was like she had been on drugs for a while. So and I don't know. LaChristie, I don't know, that's their daddy. That doesn't work in every case. Like I told you about my father, not every child has love for a parent because of their experience with that parent. Some people can never find that spot where they can forgive a parent. Some people can't find it for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Some people can't find it until that parent is on their deathbed. It's different for everybody. It really is, and it's just an interesting dynamic, I think. And Willa's with me; she doesn't watch any reality shows either. So there you go. But how do you know? How do you know? How do you know this? Tell me how you know this. How do you know this? Because nothing's ever been this. It's always been accusations. The girls are being held against their will. This girl had a relationship with R. Kelly when she was 18. Well, where's your proof? Show me the proof. Show me proof, And like I said, I tend to agree with you because it's our girls we're talking about. But if you're being fair, if this were your brother or an uncle or something, you'd be like, but no one's ever proven anything. Where's the proof on that? And that's the thing that perplexes me about that whole thing. Have you seen the news where it says that the president gets 70 visas for his foreign workers for Mar-a-Lago despite his higher American pledge? You know what? I've seen that story since like before he was president, that he, you know, is like pro-America until it comes to his properties and hiring people. I've seen that for a while. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I don't. There's a lot we don't know because on both sides there are accusations flying around. You know, and the only thing that we know is this Mueller guy is doing this investigation. He ain't saying a damn thing, and that's what's frustrating Republicans because he won't say anything. He's still investigating. Well, you need to wrap this up. Yeah. I'm going to do that on my time, on my schedule. You know. And they want to vilify him. And he's a Republican himself, but he's doing his job. You know, maybe he needs to be the president, right? You know, so you know, it's just the whole dynamic with the president is interesting because, and I told you this before, you have to remember that the president, as much as folks hate the president, don't want him to be president, there are just as many people who think he's doing a fantastic job. You know, it's going to be a matter of how many people vote. It's really going to come down to it because it's going to be close because these young people have galvanized, but the right is not. I mean, they're not just sitting there going, "What are we going to do?" They're not doing that. So it's all going to depend on everybody doing what we're supposed to do, and that's vote. Yvonne, have a great night. Thank you so much. Yeah, you know what? His R. Kelly's wife, Andrea, his ex-wife, Andrea Kelly, says that he used to tie her up, and sometimes he would go to sleep and leave her tied up, hog-tied, because she didn't call him daddy. This is what she says, right? This is what she says, you know? And I'm not calling her a liar, but you know what? You need proof. See, when it comes to R. Kelly, we're at a point now we'll believe anything people are saying about R. Kelly. Y'all saw him one time with Little Pony, you know, and we're going to believe that because that's he's been dragged so much that he gets the benefit of the doubt on nothing. He gets no love on any level at all, you know, and it's an interesting thing, you know. Patricia's clear. When I said he's a freak, I mean he just likes younger women. If all these teenagers are being molested, what are their parents doing? Why are they out of the house meeting this grown man? I love R. Kelly and his music. Well, you know what the thing is, though? What are the parents doing? What are the police doing? If these young teenagers are being sexually assaulted by R. Kelly, why isn't the police investigating? Why aren't these girls and their parents going to the police saying this just happened and the police are investigating? They can't find anything. And like I said, I mean, to protect the girls, better safe than sorry, but it's like, wow. If that were like a relative of ours, where would we be? How would we handle that? It's like, wow, how would we feel? He's not getting a fair deal. Is R. Kelly getting a fair deal? I don't know. That's my point. That's what perplexes me because part of me saying, he don't get a fair deal. He's guilty. but we got nothing. We just got people making accusations. Maria, you're right. Vote, vote, vote. Vote, 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 vote. I would say and then vote again, but you can't do that. You can't do that. You know? Do I think Democrats should go harder and stand up to Republicans like what Maxine Waters is doing? I think that the Democrats are at a point now where it's either you guys are going to have to like saddle up or you guys are going to have to take another seat for another 4 years. I think that's where we are right now. I think that I think the Democrats have to they need to bang a louder drum. The problem is politically, there's not a lot they can do because they don't have control of Congress. They don't have control of either house, the House of Representatives or the Senate. And if you don't have control over either one, there ain't a whole lot you can do. You know, he's going to pick who he's going to pick to be on the Supreme Court. And that person could potentially be, David Duke. And the Republicans want him in there. They're going to put him in there, and there's nothing anybody can do about it because they control it. I mean, he's not going to choose David Duke. I mean, but I'm just saying, And Anita, back to the R. Kelly thing. I hope we have proof in regards to R. Kelly that decides this either way. Either he's guilty of this or he's not. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's what I want. Either find the proof, or find proof that people have been lying. Because that's just not. We need closure on that. This has been going on for how long? Has this been in the public eye? You know, I just find it interesting. And like I said, it's real for me. It's kind of like, I don't know, because like I said, I have 3 daughters, and they're all 3 adults now. But it's like, wow, what is I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where that's going up. Yes, there'll be no voting often, Donna. You can only vote one. You do one, and we're good. We're doing one, and we're good. You know, Mueller's going to get done with his investigation when he's ready to get done with it. And I think if they brought him in front of these congressional panels or whatever you call them, he will tell them that it's done when it's done. You know, how long did the what was it? The Iran-Contra thing go on? That thing went on forever. Some of those investigations went on a couple of years. Come on, let it go, man. Let it run its course. Well, if you're innocent, if you have nothing to hide, then if they come up at the end of this and say, you know what, we've investigated for 2-3 years and we got nothing. There's nothing. Then your balloon is going to sail that much higher into the air. You're going to be, they're going to be ready to put you on a stamp. So why are you complain? Why complain? What kind of sweat is it off your nose? It's no sweat off your nose, man. I mean, let it run its course. You know? That's the thing. Patricia wanted to get on to make sure that she hasn't commented on anything. Is that? Well, say hi, Patricia. That'll work for me. That'll make me happy. Just say hi. But Patricia Perry in Fort Worth has been commenting, so. I don't think we're doing enough to inform the public of all the lies that 45 is telling. Well, you know what? The thing is that, okay, and here's the thing, and trust me when I tell you this, can't stand the man. Really not happy with what he's done, But we have to be very careful that we're not spreading lies about the president. Just let the truth come out. Let's connect the dots. I have 2 Patricia Perrys online. Is that what it is, Donna? Okay, that's what it is. All right, well, there you go. Well, hello to Patricia Perry and Patricia Perry. How y'all doing? But we have to be careful because I think there's enough out there to ruin this man. I don't think we need to make up anything. And the low-hanging fruit, I could care less about. You know what I'm saying? I could care less about. The fact that he sleeps with porn stars, I don't care about that. Now, did he go about paying people off that was illegal? Well, that I care about. But the fact that he cheated on his wife, that's between him and his wife. They ain't got nothing to do with anything. I felt that way about Bill Clinton when he cheated on Hillary Clinton with Lord knows who. The Lord knows who. Did he do anything illegal? Because you don't get impeached for being immoral. And that's why, like, you can't. There's certain things you can't impeach the president for being an ass. You can't. That's not an impeachable offense. And the thing about duties or something regarding the presidency, well, that's relative to how you interpret what you're talking about. So it's just one of those things where you don't know. I don't know. Monica, I don't know. R. Kelly, your time is running out. Fame has ruined his life. Dude is just, I mean, I don't know. The R. Kelly thing, I don't know. I mean, he hasn't had like a hit record in how long? He's just been living off the catalog, right? So I don't know. Does he still have a record deal? I don't know. What's in the dark will absolutely come to light, Anita. And it's going to come out eventually. Everything, good, bad, or indifferent, is going to come out. But the stuff, I don't know. The stuff, when people go after Melania, I'm not going to care about Melania. Melania's that's easy. We need substance. Melania is not substance. Come on. Well, the president's life. Now, I'm not going to say it's none of our business. I mean, do I want to know that the president had sex with a porn star. I guess I want to know because that helps shape how you see his character. And I don't care if he slept with a porn star, but if he slept, it doesn't matter if she was a porn star or if she was anybody else. But the fact that you slept with a woman while you were married, now that I have a problem with. A lot of people say, "Well, he's just a man." Well, you know what? We need to do better. We need to aim higher. We accept disappointment as routine, and we got to quit doing that. Well, that's what men do. Well, you know what? That's what women do too. All men cheat. No, they don't. Most men do not cheat. And you can debate that all you want, but most men do not cheat because it just doesn't happen. See, we tend to put shine on things that are bad. We like to shine scandals, even when they're not famous scandals. When it involves Shirley and Barbara down the street, and Shirley's husband or Barbara's husband cheating, and however the song went. We tend to we talk about all that kind of stuff like that, but it's like, whatever. Eventually, you think they're going to Cosby R. Kelly, Don? Really? They're going to Cosby him? Like all these women are going to get together and they're going to testify against him and all that kind of stuff like that? Well, you know what? It might happen. It might happen. But why hasn't it happened yet? Because they can't substantiate anything. A lot of people say that what Bill Cosby did, he did to himself. In some depositions and things like that. I don't know if it'll go the same way. Because why hasn't that happened yet? Because these allegations about R. Kelly have been going on longer than these allegations that have been going on about Bill Cosby. I'm not saying that it hasn't happened before. I mean, it happened for Bill Cosby, some say in the 60s and 70s, but when it became public, wasn't, fairly recently, So we'll have to see. So there's that. But anyway, I got to go because I got to get on the air. And you guys have been awesome as always. Man, look at that, man. 1,100 hearts and 31 laughs, and you guys are great. 1,600 thumbs up. You guys are awesome. Real men don't cheat. Well, you know what? But every man's a real man. Every man is a real man. Let's stop that. Every man's a real man. Okay? There are good men and there are bad men. Okay? And good men make mistakes too. And it happens. The difference between a good man and a bad man is when a good man messes up, he recognizes it and he tries to make amends. It doesn't matter. I'm not talking about infidelity. I'm talking about anything. I'm not just talking about infidelity. If he steals something, if he cusses out his mother, a good man will make amends of things that he's done that were wrong. He'll recognize them, he'll face them, he'll deal with them, and he'll move on. A bad man will see nothing as his fault and will keep doing the same thing without any accountability because he's selfish and he doesn't really care what anybody thinks. And he keeps doing the same thing over and over. And that's really the truth. That's because every man's a real man. But it's good men and bad men. That's the truth. But you have to make a choice. And a lot of men can't make that choice because they've only been exposed to one thing, and that's a bad man. So that's their blueprint. That's their blueprint. This is why a lot of young men need mentors, because they only know one way, and that's what they were exposed to. So there's that. So, Cassie, how you doing? Yes. Yeah, Monica, comedy's hard, huh? Yes, we're not talking about dead men. Monica, stop. I love you, Monica. I do. Oh, man, you guys have a great night. Thanks so much for hanging out. I love these conversations because it is a conversation. We go back and forth, and this is, like I said, this is everything to me. You guys make me feel good. Sometimes I get nervous about doing this or apprehensive. I don't want to do it today, but I do it because you guys give me energy, and you guys give me a lot to think about, and you guys make me want to be better at what I do. So when I do this with you, you guys can get the best of what I'm trying to do. So, yeah, Deborah, learn from your mistakes. Trust me, every one of these grays and whites you see are mistakes. And I've learned from every one of them. So in these two, down here and out here and in here and up in here and, and down in... No. But you guys have a great night. Follow me on social media, Tony Scott Media, except on YouTube, it's This and That Media. Let's get that subscriber count up. Doesn't cost anything, and it's really helping to get me back on pace of where I want to be with YouTube. So there's that. Thanks so much. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.